What's happening YouTube? Hope you guys are well. We're just on the way to one of my coaches, Elias, who works at Hula at the Olympic Training Center from Helsinki as well. So the setup I did now, that basically like Cam McElroy, maybe you heard it from swimming. Very interesting story for anybody who's passionate about sport. So it's basically like a golf caddy. You have to think about it. Like you have the golfer, and the golfer has a caddy. The golfer has a strength conditioning coach. So if that whole setup, and the golfer still is the one that takes a shot in the end and has to carry the vision and the dream and all those things. Yeah, I'll have the main overview obviously has an Elias with a bike and run load and a general overview load, like with the objective view that I don't do too much and all those things, all the control, all the trust is 100% there. And then I will have also a swim coach, which is Ollie. He's a open water British guy, has a company as well in the UK. It's gonna be the swim coach. The reason I chose him and we talked, I mean, there's a few reasons for that, but he has experience, international swimmer, open water swimming, more important than that, because pool swimming is not at all the same. So also national open water champion, so he knows the level and he's very motivated as well, same as Elias. That was the second criteria as well. I wrote about on Instagram as well, that criteria is that motivation has to be high and the passion and time for that project, you know. It's very important who you surround yourself with, right? If that team has, I mean, I have to carry the vision. I have to know I have to go from A to B, and then you assemble a team that trusts in you, believes in you, that helps you to get from A to B, right? And I think one thing I kind of got a bit lost in almost is also to have a bit these objective things. You get really simple slipping into those things like, hey, I want to win, I want to do those things, but that's not really the goal. You have to pick winning always process, so always focus on your numbers and always focus on winning numbers that also bring the sport forward eventually, right? Because if you only look at, like some people do, like, hey, I need this split to get a Kona slot, you're not really pushing anything forward, right? So I look forward to this, having an open mind, for sure nailing the basics of recovery and stimulus, but also there will be open mind ideas how to evolve for me and also for the sport, hopefully eventually as well. But let's first get in the mix and step by step. So let's get going. One of the benefits as well, you're kind of tapping into a whole network of specialists, right? Because I mean, science and being up to date with technology is kind of a must right now, and best would be, of course, if you're ahead of the curve in some areas. Can get lost in the data, but important is that, you know, you have the brains. People are much better in different areas than you. For example, they have a whole network of, for example, heat specialists, researchers, best researchers in the world. To be honest, some of them they are, and the very best in their field when it comes to training planning and all those things on a very, very high, always Olympic level. So from different sports, so very different, well, a lot of knowledge when it comes to all of this, and also an open mind when it comes to things. Not too much knowledge in triathlon specifically, like bike and run. I think that's an advantage. And I know some things, of course, but you puzzle this all together, how to blueprint it, and all the knowledge I had from other advisors before, things that worked. All of that comes, of course, like a melting pot together. But then, other things as well, like you have also doctors here that can help. For example, I have allergies, right? Asthma as well, so you can get that always under control. If you have anything with sickness going on, or like travel, time zones, you know, how to do that best with the jet lag and all this knowledge, really a mix of specialists of the world's best in many fields, and I can tap into that now. So that's kind of, you have to always use the areas that you live in, and I don't know, it just came now again through me, through the whole journey that I went through, that of course I have this available. So here I'll be doing all my testing as well, like I did in the past, very high level, new ways of testing as well, things that I don't understand and don't have to, but he's the brains in that way, so I trust him. It's good. So now, yeah, long talk. We talked 1.5 hours, planned everything, the first blocks. Not in detail, but like, yeah, kind of detail. So now, yeah, now it's 30th of August. So September, the first month will be just, you can call it base work with some teasers of intensities, but very little and controlled. I still hear back from the swim coach, and then we puzzle that together. But yeah, that's September. And then early October we do the first testing, bike and run testing will be here. Yeah, from that we know the mainly just specificity, which one you should focus on, which, for example, intensity zones, is it VO2 max first, threshold, where's the biggest gains also for cardio output, like which limiters are they, and they also determine then how long the interval duration is and how long the actual load weeks are. But mostly I'll go 3-1, 3 weeks load and 1 week reduced load. And there'll be also mini testing in there, some protocols we found on the really high level of studying to kind of control that, which I also have during the week, but that I keep a secret. But there's a lot of, it's all about, you know, they talk about intensity control, blah, fancy word, but it's also to make sure you absorb the load, and that's a huge one. There we have a system to make sure I know if you should do that session then or not. There's a warm-up system for that, and yeah, look forward to it. Otherwise, a lot of outlets from the plants already that worked before, so excited for it. New system, not massive changes. It's, you know, triathlon, it's training and recovery, just better. Yeah, that'll be better. So that'll be it for this video already. Not a ton, but I'll check in so you know what's going on, and I see you in the next video. Bye.